My name is Charlotte Mitchell and welcome to my Mathcast. Today's Mathcast is for third graders, and our learning objective is find the area of a rectangle through multiplication of side lengths. First, we need to go over some vocabulary to be able to complete this lesson. We are going to go over the words area, rectangle, and side length. The first word that we will be going over is area. Area is a two-dimensional measurement that measures the number of square units it takes to cover the two-dimensional shape without any gaps or overlays. So a two-dimensional shape is a flat shape. So the square, circle, and triangle down here are all examples of two-dimensional shapes that we can find the area of. Many of our examples today will include a rectangle. So let's go over the definition of it. A rectangle is a parallelogram with right angles. Down here are a couple examples of rectangles that we may see in our lesson today. Lastly, let's go over what a side length is. A side length is how long the line segment is that makes up the side of the shape. So this line segment right here is 2 inches. We can tell this by the label that is right next to the line segment. For this triangle, this line segment is indicated to be 3 inches long. This will be important when finding the area of a shape. Let's start our first example. Our problem says, write a multiplication equation to find the area of each rectangle. In part A, we can see that there's 2 side lengths. This side is 4 feet long, and this side is 7 feet long. The way that we find the area for a rectangle is by multiplying the 2 side lengths together. Since we know that one side length is 4 feet and the other one is 7 feet, we can make a multiplication equation. So you would do 4 times 7, which would equal 28. Since we found the area of the rectangle, we have to add the proper units. Our units for finding area in this situation are square feet. Area is considered a two-dimensional measurement. That's why we are using square feet for our units in this problem. Now let's move on to part B. We're going to use the same method that we did in part A. So we have one side length that's 8 feet and one side length that is 7 feet. We are going to write our problem as 8 times 7, which should give us 56. We can't forget about our units. Remember that area is a two-dimensional measurement, so we have to use square feet. Now let's do part C. We have one side length that is 6 feet, and the other one is also 6 feet. So our problem will be 6 times 6, which will give us 36 square feet. Now let's look at example 2. Write a multiplication equation and a division equation to find the unknown side length for each rectangle. So from the last problem, we know that a side length times a side length equals the area of the shape. So if we took the area of the shape and divided it by the given side length, that would give us the missing side length. To start this problem, we will start with the division equation. So we know that the area of this shape here is 72 square feet, and our given side length is 9 feet. So our equation would look like this. So 72 divided by 9 is 8, and that gives us our missing side length. When doing the problem, it's very important to write down your units for your answers. So in this case, since we just found the side length, it would just be feet. If we were talking about area, our unit would be square feet. Now that we have our missing side length, we can finally write our multiplication equation. From the last problem, we know that side length times side length equals the area. So our equation would be 9 times 8 equals 72 square feet. It's important to note that your equation could be 8 times 9 and it could still be correct. So in part B, we see that our area given to us is 15 square feet and our given side is 3 feet. Our equation would be 15 square feet divided by 3 feet, which would give us 5. And that would be our missing side length that we would need for our multiplication equation. Our multiplication equation would be 3 times 5, which equals 15 square feet. Part C, we see that the area is 28 square feet, and we're giving a side of 4 feet. So our division equation would be 28 divided by 4, which would then give us 7 feet. So when we write our multiplication equation, we can write 7 times 4 equals 28. Your equation could also be 4 times 7 equals 28 feet, and that would also be a correct answer. Our last example today is a word problem, and it says, Cliff draws a rectangle with a side length of 6 inches and an area of 24 inches. What is the other side length? How do you know? So let's look at what the problem gives us. It starts off with saying Cliff draws a rectangle. So let's first draw a rectangle. It then says with a side length of 6 inches. So we can label one of the sides 6 inches. It also says that the area is 24 square inches. So let's write that down. This is very similar to example 2. We're going to have to find a division equation to help us find that missing side length up here. In the last problem, we said that dividing the area by one of the side lengths would give us the missing side length. So our equation for this problem would be 24 divided by 6. From this problem, we can find that the missing side length is 4. And we have to refer back to what our units are. This side length says 6 inches, so our unit should be inches. The question also asks, how do we know? We know the missing side length is 4 inches because we know that 2 side lengths multiplied together gives us the area. We knew that the area of one side length, so through division we were able to find the missing side length. Thank you for watching my math cast.